As Xi and Putin's missile threat grows, is Trump now scrambling for a new shield to protect U.S. forces from the next wave of advanced air attacks? Are Virginia-class submarines about to get new anti-air missiles for the first time, turning them into a far more versatile undersea weapons platform? Hidden beneath the waves, could U.S. submarines now hunt enemy spy planes and other aircraft from positions no one can easily see? Is the U.S. Navy building one missile in 4 different versions, creating a new war arsenal that can serve ships, submarines, and future strike missions? The U.S. Navy is now moving toward a new era of submarine air defense as missile threats grow faster, deadlier, and harder to intercept. According to the War Zone, the U.S. Navy is pursuing a new submarine-launched anti-air missile, opening a capability it has never fielded operationally before. That capability is part of the Next Generation Naval Modular Missile, or NMM program, which is designed to modernize the Navy's surface and undersea launch options. The program aims to create one common interceptor that can underpin multiple naval air defense missile variants, simplifying future development and deployment. Per the U.S. Navy, the modular design could boost firepower while cutting logistics complexity, making the system easier to produce, move, and sustain. If fielded, the program would give U.S. submarines a true surface-to-air missile capability for the first time in Navy history. The NMM is built around one common terminal stage interceptor, or TSI, which serves as the core of the entire family. Its modular design supports multiple missile variants, allowing one base weapon to be adapted for different naval roles. The missile family is intended for both surface ships and submarines, giving the Navy a shared interceptor architecture across platforms. Open architecture is meant to allow future upgrades, so new sensors, seekers, or software can be added later. The system is designed for both defensive and offensive missions, making it a flexible tool for future naval warfare. The Navy wants production to reach 1,000 interceptors annually within 5 years, showing how ambitious the scale of the program is. The Navy envisions 4 different missile variants built around the same interceptor core, turning one design into several battlefield roles. Long-range, dual-pack, quad-pack, and submarine versions are all under development, giving the program a broad future footprint. The long-range version is designed to fit existing Mk-41 vertical launch systems, so it can slot into current Navy warships. Let's take a look at the types of NMM variants. The LR variant is meant for single loading inside each Mk-41 VLS cell, maximizing compatibility with existing launch systems. The DPER is an extended range version designed for dual packing, allowing 2 missiles to fit where one normally would. The QPMR is a medium-range version designed for quad packing, creating even greater launcher density. The ERS is an extended-range missile intended for submarines, making it the version most closely tied to undersea launch. Both the LR and ERS variants are expected to reach hypersonic speeds, pushing the design into a far more advanced performance category. The most unusual version is being designed for Virginia-class attack submarines, according to the War Zone. That missile would use 7-cell canisters inside the large Virginia payload tubes, making the submarine a hidden missile launcher. Block V Virginia-class submarines are set to receive these payload modules first, putting them at the front of the deployment line. One reason to arm submarines this way is to defend against anti-submarine aircraft and helicopters that hunt beneath the surface. They could also support carrier groups as hidden air defense platforms, adding protection without revealing their position. The system could help destroy enemy AEW and C and surveillance aircraft, removing the eyes and ears of the opposing force. Using network targeting data, submarines could intercept incoming missiles from unexpected angles. They could conduct surprise long-range air defense from concealed positions, creating a new layer of uncertainty for any attacker. The submarines could also carry mixed loads alongside Tomahawk and hypersonic missiles, expanding their strike and defense options at the same time. The new missiles are expected to counter advanced supersonic and hypersonic threats, which are becoming central to modern naval warfare. The U.S. Navy says recent wars have highlighted the need for larger missile magazines, because high-intensity conflicts burn through interceptors quickly. Higher missile capacity could reduce the need for frequent combat rearming at ports, helping ships stay in the fight longer. The modular design may also speed up production during future high-intensity conflicts, when speed and scale matter most. The Navy wants a highly agile multi-mission interceptor that can switch between different naval threats quickly. It is meant to defeat aircraft, cruise missiles, and hypersonic missiles, all with the same basic weapon family. It must remain compatible with existing U.S. naval launch systems, so it can be fielded without a total fleet redesign. The design also calls for modular components from multiple manufacturers, widening the industrial base that can support production. Scalable production for wartime demand is another priority, because the Navy wants inventory that can expand fast if war breaks out. Ultimately, the goal is faster, cheaper, and more sustainable missile inventories that can survive a long war of attrition. The Navy says the new missile family would help outpace rapidly evolving threats, rather than constantly reacting after the fact. The effort follows stockpile pressure from Middle East crises and aid to Ukraine, both of which have tested U.S. missile inventories hard. The U.S. is now seeking billions of dollars to rebuild missile stocks after months of intense operations in the Iran war, reflecting how quickly modern conflicts drain high-end munitions. On July 31st, Bloomberg revealed that the Pentagon has submitted a new $67 billion emergency request, a package explicitly tied to the ongoing Iran conflict and its costs. Within that broader request, $18.2 billion has been earmarked to replace key missiles used during recent operations, focusing on the most advanced interceptors and cruise weapons. The funding plan has been formally submitted to U.S. Senate and House Defense Committees, signaling that Congress is now being asked to sign off on this rapid rearmament push. Bloomberg's report comes after months of U.S. strikes on Iranian targets and repeated defensive interceptions against incoming missiles and drones across the region. The Pentagon's shopping list includes about $5.75 billion dedicated just to THAAD interceptors, reflecting how heavily the high-altitude shield was relied on during the war. Another $5.57 billion are set aside for Patriot PAC-3 MSE missiles, the Army's frontline air defense rounds that have been fired repeatedly to stop Iranian attacks. Around $1.9 billion would go to Standard Missile-6 interceptors, a versatile Navy weapon used for both air and missile defense in contested waters. Some $1.3 billion is earmarked for new Tomahawk cruise missiles, replenishing the long-range strike inventory that has been used for precision hits on Iranian targets. A further $1 billion would fund SM-3 Block IIA interceptors, crucial for exo-atmospheric missile defense and increasingly central to US-led protection. About $992 million is allocated to AMRAAM air-to-air missiles, ensuring US fighter jets can continue to engage hostile aircraft and drones without worrying about shortages. The list also includes roughly $692 million for precision strike missiles, expanding the Army's ability to hit key ground targets at long range with conventional warheads. U.S. officials say this emergency request reflects growing concerns over America's missile stockpiles, which have been visibly strained by sustained high-tempo operations. American forces fired 13,629 munitions during the recent Iran conflict, according to Bloomberg, a figure that highlights just how intense and prolonged the campaign has become. Pete Hegseth notes that the request also includes around $21 billion to speed up missile procurement, aiming to push industry to deliver faster and in greater volume. Part of that accelerated funding is targeted at lower-cost precision munitions, which planners hope will carry more of the burden in future operations without exhausting high-end stocks as quickly. Bloomberg's breakdown suggests the funding could buy about 1,137 Patriot PAC-3 MSE interceptors, significantly rebuilding the air defense magazine after months of heavy use. It could also fund roughly 479 THAAD interceptors, restoring the high-altitude layer that has protected bases and allies from Iranian ballistic threats. Around 462 Tomahawk cruise missiles could be purchased, reloading US and allied ships and submarines with long-range precision firepower. The plan includes enough money for about 442 SM-6 interceptor missiles, bolstering the Navy's ability to defend fleets and coastal assets against complex air attacks. Finally, about 433 precision strike missiles could be acquired, expanding the Army's capacity to strike critical nodes deep inside an adversary's territory. Defense analysts point out that the request may not perfectly match the exact number of missiles fired, suggesting it reflects broader planning rather than pure one-for-one replacement. Some line items closely match estimated Patriot and THAAD expenditure during the war, implying those systems are being replenished almost directly for what was used in combat. However, analysts note that other missile requests appear lower than estimated combat consumption, raising questions over whether the Pentagon is also relying on future production boosts and Allied stockpiles.